The October meeting for the Park and Recs Board. If we could stand for a Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I move for the approval of the minutes from our September meeting.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved. Tammy, announcements?
Announcements. Board of Commissioners meetings will take place on Monday, October 25th and Monday, November 8th. Parks and Recreation Board next meeting will take place on Thursday, November 11th. The 8th annual Sarah McCarran Cleanup at Skunk Hollow Park will take place this Sunday, October 17th from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. The Harvest Fest by the Friends of the Willows Cottage will take place on Sunday, October 24th from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. The 33rd annual Penn Medicine Radnor Run will take place Sunday, October 31st, 8:30 a.m. And the Township Manager's Listening Session will take place on Wednesday, October 20th at 7 o'clock a.m. It'll run at different intervals throughout the day through 6:30 p.m. It's going to be an opportunity for residents to come out and meet and discuss some of their thoughts and opinions about their services and programs that are offered by the Township, and give a chance to everybody engage with the new manager and give information and talk about different needs as they relate to the budget. And that concludes the announcements.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on the announcements? Activities report.
Activities report for September. Parks and Recreation Department finalized its fall 2010 recreation guide, and it can be found at our website at www.radnorparksandrecreation.com. You also all have a copy of it. It can also be obtained for folks by mail if someone calls our department, and we'll mail it out to them so we can get it in their hands. Fall programs that are currently up and running include the World Cup Junior Soccer Program, after-school flag football, Fall Youth Basketball League, lunchtime hoops, men's evening pickup hoops, the 5-star preschool sports program, play ball, youth, adult, and teen tennis, which are both taking place at Philippone Park and Radnor Racket. We have 2 locations for that, and squash at the Fairmont Athletic Club. After-school science and chess programs are also currently taking place. They're offered in a partnership with the Ithan Elementary School PTO. And as new programs continue to be developed, they are posted at our website. So please be sure to check back at the website as it is updated on a weekly basis. This month, we also had opened our online registration for the 2010-2011 Radnor Youth Basketball Program. You can visit www.radnorsports.com for more information. You can also register for that program with a paper application as well by contacting our department. We'll be happy to mail that out to you, or you can come in and get a copy. And that program is for basically kids in grades 1 to 12. Registration is also underway for the Griffin Volleyball Program, and we are in the planning stages for it as well. The 33rd annual Penn Medicine Radnor Run will take place Sunday, October 31st. This major event is a 5-mile certified 1-mile fun run and walk that starts and finishes from the Radnor Township building, and it benefits the ALA. It will be taking place on Halloween, so people are encouraged to come in costume, especially the kids. If you're looking to register, you can call our department for more information, and we'll be happy to assist you through that process. We had also been working with the Radnor Middle School this month to try and increase participation and involvement in recreational programming. I had spoken to the students of the school and met with the principal and the staff about the different program opportunities that we have available, and try to encourage their participation and involvement in the development process of our programs. So we're excited to continue building that relationship to help us offer programs for that age group, which has been one that's been hard for us to reach throughout the years. So we want to try and increase that ability. We also, our department has been circulating a lot of our fall information, primarily this fall by our mass email systems. and the township website. So we're asking all residents that if they're looking for more information, certainly give us a call. We'll be happy to add them to that mailing list if they're not interested in just viewing the information on the website. We can mail them information by mail and also add them to our mass email distribution lists for information. So as things go out monthly or quarterly, they can receive those details. The Fenimore Woods Picnic Shelter, Clemacrone Park, Beauconnor Park, Cowan Park, and Willows picnic areas they're still being rented for the 2010 season. For the month of November, we had over 20 rentals, which took place in September. The Willows Mansion is also being rented for various functions, and the craft fair will be taking place again this fall, starting on Saturday, November 18th. In addition to programming, the usage at Radnor Activity Center is also being coordinated. In September, we had 14 usage agreements that had been scheduled for activities such as basketball play and birthday parties, and we continue to coordinate and schedule the facility with various private groups and public groups, along with programming for our own fall programs that we're delivering. I would also like to take a moment just to pass along a thank you to the public works staff for all their hard work in the last few weeks in making repairs to the parks and the ball fields due to the recent damage that we had by the tropical storm that came through our area. So I want to say thank you especially to Bill Hagan and all of his guys. A lot of fields and a lot of facilities have weathered a big storm, and they've been hard at work trying to get things back in working order. So thank you to them. Many of the residents have been enjoying tennis play over at the Radnor High School, under the lights. We've been trying to get out there and adjust those lights to be commensurate with the time that it's been getting dark so that the lights are still on. And I also want to just notify everybody that as of November 1st, we will be turning the lights off. An update on projects by way of park signage at Emlyn Tunnel and Clemacrone Parks. Manufacturing for park signs is currently taking place, and we anticipate that we're going to be installing those signs in the first week of November. I've been working with members of the Public Works Department to try and relocate existing park signage at each location. There's some metal parking signs that are currently up that we need to relocate to make way for the new park signs coming in. And I'm also going to be, throughout that process, continuing to work with the members of Garrett Hill to help me with making sure that we have real good locations where each of those park signs are going to be. For the grant that we had received from DCNR for Cowan Park, we had been exploring the development of the park comfort station at that location. The Public Works Director and I had reviewed, as you guys know, we had reviewed a process that we wanted to try and implement that would not only enable us to come up with a plan on how we want to replace the comfort station over at Cowan Park, but for other parks, for new and existing, stations in the future. We prepared the details of our request for proposal, so those are underway and we're reviewing them for further input. So if anybody wants to talk about that further, we certainly can. Also, an update, the football field at Beauconnor Park was experiencing some water drainage from the springs in the high water table. The parks crew had looked into the issue to try and find all the underground drainage and piping. They have jetted all of the piping, and they're currently open. Right now, just a small portion of the west end of the field is wet. So we're currently evaluating that situation, and we're going to examine it throughout the winter and into the spring to determine what we're going to do to try and mitigate the issues that are happening there. But right now, it does look better since they've been able to get everything out of the pipes and get the drainage to go down. For more information and updates on what is happening in the Parks and Recreation Department, please be sure to check out the weekly reports that are posted at radnor.com under the featured links section. They're updated there Thursday of each week. And that concludes my director's report for September.
Well, thank you very much, Tammy. Once again, the brochure looks great. Kudos to you and your staff for putting together a great brochure. Callan Park, and maybe a question for John, but I guess we made a recommendation to maybe move forward with the future designs of the comfort stations. Was that brought up at a commissioners meeting, and was that approved?
I believe we approved to go out for bid for the design so far.
So going forward, the new benchmark or the new
Right.
design is going to be something similar to what we saw and looked at, and,
Yes.
okay.
And then we'll look to you folks to give us the prioritization for future facilities.
Okay. Tammy, you talked a little bit about some of the parks having some damage, and the Public Works crew doing a great job. I happened to notice this one at Sawmill which seemed to really get hit pretty hard with some trees down and flooding and so forth. Anything in addition to trees and so forth that took place there that we should be concerned about or need to think about?
Well, the Scout Bridge had sustained significant damage, and it actually, in a prior storm this summer, had a tree fall down and over the rail, had cracked the rail on it. But during this last storm, it had actually washed farther upstream and around a tree. The parks crew have removed it and they've tried to salvage it, and right now it's back in place. So they're working to get it fixed up, but it looks like they are going to be able to save it. So that was one concern, because that is a major area needed for a bridge to get further down the trail. So at that site, I know that they had worked very hard to try and get things cleaned up, and they have successfully done so in a quick fashion too.
Okay, great. Anybody else have any questions on Tammy's report?
Tammy,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just had a question. It's something I don't think was in the report, but I know leading up to, I think it was last month's commissioners meeting, there was some, I guess, a presentation that was going to be made about the extension of the Radnor Trail. I just don't know if you have any update on where that process is at and so forth.
As of right now, the thought of extending the trail and the process of gaining an easement through Martha Brown's Woods is actually on hold. It's my understanding that we have some information we're trying to get from PennDOT leading into that area, which gains some right-of-way access that I think we haven't been able to move forward with PennDOT, and it's actually caused us to just try and put that on hold for right now, to request that easement through Martha Brown's Woods. So that's where that stands right now. And I know that there had been, also looking further beyond Martha Brown's Woods, some other communication that had gone on with PennDOT that they weren't allowing us to go parallel along the sound barrier and down through along Route 476. So at this time, I think without having those essential pieces from PennDOT, we can't really go and try and make something work through Martha Brown's Woods without gaining those two areas and understanding those pieces. So as of right now, that has put that on hold.
Thanks.
Tammy, the tennis courts, you're turning off the lights on November 1. Is that earlier than normal? I know they get a ton of use up there.
It is earlier. I'm not sure exactly how early it is, because I'm not sure what we did last year. I know that we've had some budget concerns, and there has been some communication that has came towards our department and other township departments as far as monitoring spending from this
Okay.
point to the end of the year. And that was one area that we evaluated to make a decision, is to try and save some of the money that we're expending on the lights at that facility.
Okay. And just another question, the sign in front of the Willows has been damaged for a while. Is there any schedule to get that fixed?
As of right now, we have, with the accident that had happened at that location, we have recovered the funding. We've been able to get that worked out with the insurance company. So we currently do have that in place, and I've had communications with Denron, who had originally placed those signs there, and we worked through them on that process. As of right now, we're still in the process of taking a look actually at the entranceway. of the Willows to examine if maybe we want to go in a different direction with the signage at the gateway there, and perhaps look into an alternative method for the signage there, perhaps something that may tie in with the wall, the existing wall and the existing entryway.
Okay.
So we have moved forward in a sense that, you know, we do want to replace the signs that are there, but in that process, we've been trying to also think about maybe applying the money towards another sign design or another sign sort of positioning at that location that might increase the functionality and just overall beauty of the entryway there.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? One last thing, with the upcoming Radnor Run, how's the entries or applications or entry fees, or entrances coming for, compared to years past?
As of right now, we are at a pace that's right around 400 registrations that we have currently processed. I'm not exactly sure of what the number was last year. I think it was somewhere around the 600
Yeah, I was
range,
gonna
but
say
usually at this time, this is where we're at. And then we always have the folks who are in the last week trying to get a sense of what the weather's going to look like and then make a decision. I suspect that maybe, being that it's on Halloween, that may have an effect on our attendance this year, but we're not off pace of where we
Good.
normally are at this time.
Volunteers are in line with where we need to be, and
I've been
could
coordinating
always
with
use some more, right?
Yeah, we
So,
can always use more, absolutely, especially having more people to come and be course marshals, which helps us a lot along the race course in, you know, keeping the runners on track and also just serving as, you know, a cheering section, so to speak, as the runners go by, and making sure that they stay on pace so they know where they're going. And that's always very helpful. I have coordinated with the police department, so they're helping us at those major intersections as they normally do. But having more volunteers is always better, especially along that race course.
Okay, all right, great, well, thank you. Why don't we go to school board reports?
I'll do it. The school board is disappointed that the teachers did not sign the agreement, the negotiations agreement for the contract, and we believe it's fair to both the teachers and to Radnor taxpayers. And we ask the public to refer to the Radnor Township School District website, which is rtsd.org, for further updates. The good news is that this weekend is homecoming, and the homecoming game will start at 7:30 on Friday evening. And we also had a little bit of flooding problem during that bad storm, but that's been taken care of. And thanks to Leo Bernabe, the Director of Facilities. Do you have
Okay.
anything else to add? All right, thank you.
Great. Any committee reports? Okay. Anything from the commissioners as far as an update?
I had sent an email to Tom, but it never got forwarded to you folks. I'm assuming it's floating around in electronic heaven somewhere. So I have a copy of it in your packets. The last meeting, when we had the Commissioners Committee, Parks and Rec Committee meeting first, there was obviously a lot of confusion about that. I had talked with Tom afterwards. So I just want to try to explain to you what the changes we're making. The Board of Commissioners have always had committees. However, they really haven't utilized that committee structure as a way to make things more efficient. So we're trying to reintroduce that. The idea is that, for example, Parks and Rec, if there were some issues that you wanted to bring to the commissioners, that meeting would be set up with the committee, the subcommittee, giving you an opportunity to have the whole meeting about Parks and Rec issues, rather than having to come to the normal BOC meeting and have your area of interest diluted. So we're trying to move that way. We're doing that with planning. Personnel, for example, one of the things we heard, some of you were at that all boards meeting we conducted several months ago. One of the things we heard from folks was that a need for guidance and a need for roles and things like that. So On the 27th of this month, there's a meeting of the Personnel Committee of the Board of Commissioners, and one of the topics of discussion is a manual that we're putting together for the boards and commissions. So anyway, I personally believe that rather than diluting what you folks are doing, it's actually going to increase your opportunities to be heard. For the last several years, you didn't get the attention you deserved. You didn't have commissioners attending your meetings. So we're trying to move forward with that. And right now, we need your help more than ever because of the tough budget situation. So we're going to need your help in understanding where the need is and try and help us with some prioritization, as well as, you know, looking forward. We're going to come out of this economy, and when we do, we're going to do some catching up on things we haven't been able to do thus far. Also, Sunday, we're dedicating a historical marker over at Cowan Field for the natatorium. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the natatorium, but literally the creek there many, many years ago was dammed, and there was a swim club, a natural fed spring swim club. And it went all the way up Willow Avenue. So we've managed, it was one of the first public swim clubs in the United States, I think. But anyway, we got a historical marker for that, and it will be placed at 2 o'clock on Sunday. We have people coming in from the State Department Museum Commission. We also have several of our representatives. Senator Leach is supposed to be there. Bill Adolph will be there. And that's literally, if you walk down the center of Willow Avenue and cross the street, that's where Bill's guys have been working this week to get the sign placed. So hopefully any of you want to come out, please do. I think it's going to be a nice day. Also, Tammy, I didn't hear you mention the Halloween party.
Well, we haven't had stellar registration at this point for the
No?
Halloween slumber and
Well,
party,
that's why you
unfortunately.
talked about it here.
It is in the report. Well, we kind of had to make a decision on that
okay.
quickly, as of Wednesday, actually, to decide if we were going to go through with it, because we have purchases and things that we would need to make in order to prepare for it. It was a program that we were very excited about because it was new, and for our department, we had never really had a Halloween event. But we tried to get information out there and circulate it around as much as we could electronically, but unfortunately, I think we had one person that was interested, and they were a non-resident, so. But we'll try it again next year.
Yeah, I announced it Monday night, so I thought maybe you would get some,
One person had
one of our
called,
commissioners
yeah.
was coming.
It was shaping up to be a great event, but like I said, we'll try it again in the future because we would like to have a traditional Halloween event like we do a holiday event, just like we want to try and aim for something in the spring to try and focus a little bit in that area of our programming. I didn't mention it in my director's report, but we have been trying to solicit some sponsorships. Right now, we have been very fortunate to have TD Bank help us out with the concert series, as well as the Holiday at the Willows that we have each year in December. And we'd like to try and continue to find ways to supplement events and activities that we can deliver to the community. So if there are businesses or anyone out there who would like to partner with us to deliver those types of events, and offer them to the Radnor community, please call us, because we've got a lot of ideas. We just need the money to implement them and make those happen.
Okay. Any old business? Is there any new business? It doesn't appear like there's any public participation. Guess the rain has kind of kept everybody home at bay, so I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.